Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be me giving you guys 10 tips on having your period at school. And there's also going to be a how to make an emergency pad demonstration, like a demo of that, because it is related to the last tip that I'm going to be giving of this video, like the 10th tip. And I just thought it was obviously like really perfect to make this video around now because it is back to school season. I'm still really sad that summer's over. I just don't know where the time went, how it's already back to school, but it is. And so I feel like we all need a refresher on like how to manage periods at school. I actually personally got my period over the pandemic in November 2020, and I'm just going back in person to school since like the pandemic started into 10th grade for me, like in a couple weeks at the time I'm filming this video. And so I have never had a period at school before. Comment down below if you can relate, but I have had my period for almost 2 years now. And also reading your comments about like the struggles that you guys go through at school on your period and like your questions about it really helped me put together these 10 tips for you guys to like manage those struggles with periods in school. This video could also be especially helpful if you are due to get your period on the first week of school or the first day of school, like me. Yay! Yeah, my period tracker app is predicting that I'm getting my period, like my next period, on the first week of school, and sometimes my cycles are a little weird, so it might come on the first day of school. And so this could be especially helpful like if you're in the same boat as me and like you haven't had your period at school for a while because like it's been summer, or you relate to me and like you haven't gone back in person to school yet and now you are. By the way, sorry if you can hear like banging or clapping or something in the background. It's my dryer. My mom is literally doing laundry right now. I actually made a video similar to this last year, like back to school period tips. These are going to be different though because I've come up with like new ones, but I will put that video up like right here if you guys want to go check that one out. And I've also recently made a video on the struggle of clothes on your period, so if you need more tips like in terms of school uniforms, I would check that video out because that video discusses more like school uniforms. But anyway, enough talking, or I mean I'm gonna keep talking. I always say this, I'm like really stupid and weird, but enough talking about what the video is gonna be about. Let's get into the actual video so I can give you guys my 10 tips for dealing with your period at school. My first tip might seem a little basic, but it is to track your period carefully. There is nothing can I just say, I have a whole series on my channel where I react to your period horror stories, and so many times like I've heard through these horror stories that like you get your period at school, you weren't expecting it at all, and this is what can lead to like so many horrifying situations where you don't like know what to do when you have your period at school. But if you know that you're going to get your period like when you're at school, then you can be more prepared. I've actually made a whole video on how to track your period. You can go check out that video if you are interested in like learning how to actually track your period like carefully. I will link that video right here. But basically like a summarized version of like how to track your period is like, Mommy!
What is that constant clapping noise? Is it the laundry?
Can you turn it off? Anyway, as I was saying, basically just look out for the signs and symptoms that your body tells you like before your period's coming. If your period's irregular, this is especially important. And also when you start to feel those signs and symptoms, put a panty liner on, like get ready. My second tip is to wear overnight pads to school. This is good in a way that you won't have to worry about constantly changing your pad at school because overnight pads are meant to last you up to like 10, 12, I think even some can last you up to like 16 hours. I will link the overnight pads that I use down below, but this is what I'm going to do because honestly, I'm just really scared of like my regular pad not being long enough or like thick enough to like accommodate all my like so if you have a heavy flow, or if you like don't feel like constantly getting up and going to the bathroom to change your pad, wearing an overnight pad can really help. I mean, obviously you don't want to be sitting in the same pad all day. I mean, it's not ideal. However, if you are having a heavy flow day, you don't want to constantly be going to change your pad. Wearing an overnight pad can help because it's like when you're sleeping, and like that's kind of the same amount of time that you're at school anyway. Obviously bring extra pads, change them when you can, but like if you are kind of nervous just about like asking the teacher to go to the bathroom or something, this can allow you to, one, be way less likely to leak, and also to not have to change your pad as much. My next tip is to keep a box of pads in your locker. This way you won't run out of pads when you are at school, because I know that the first week of school we pack in our little emergency kit bags like 5 pads or something, and we're like, oh, I'm so prepared, you know, like now I'm all ready to have my period at school. But you don't realize like how quickly 5 pads gets used up, and especially like as you get later into the school year, you are going to start forgetting to like replace the pads, and then all of a sudden you'll get your period at school and you'll be like,
wait, I thought I had 5 pads.
But you already used them. So just buying a box of pads, or even 2 boxes of pads before school starts, and putting them, even if you don't have a locker, like put them at the very bottom of your backpack just so that you always have them with you. But especially keeping them in your locker would be good because then no one can really like constantly see them, and this way you'll have like a ton of pads. You'll be all stocked up like when you're at school, and then you won't run out. My next tip is to always have a backup pair of clothes with you. I cannot tell you how many times I've been told by you guys that you've stained something at school or something like that, and that's just a really bad situation. It is so smart to just always have a change of clothes. You can make it like a lightweight small outfit, like just pack some dark bottoms, like maybe some dark leggings, some like lightweight dark sweatpants, or like some, I don't know, like dark shorts. And also, I mean, sometimes, I don't know, I've heard some horror stories where like it can even go on your shirt, so maybe pack like a dark shirt or something too. And also, of course, a clean pair of underwear, and you can put this in like just a bag or something in your locker. Make it cute. I mean, don't make it look like it's like just this bag of clothes, or keep it in your backpack or like your gym locker or anywhere where you can keep it. And this way, if something does happen with your period at school, like a complete horror story, and you need to change, you won't need to ask anyone to borrow anything. You won't need to like go to the nurse awkwardly. You will just be able to go to your locker or like go to your backpack, change clothes, and then it's important to put these clothes in a bag so then you can put the stained clothes back in that bag. My next tip, which is related to the last two tips that I just said, is figure out good hiding techniques, because obviously you don't want to open your locker and have everyone see like a box of pads. I mean, periods should have the stigma removed, but I mean, with the way the world is, it's just horrible, so you don't want to be embarrassed. And also, it's the same with like a change of clothes or whatever. Like, you don't want that just hanging in your locker or like being in your backpack. So figure out good hiding techniques. Something that you can do to hide the pads is use like a really big makeup bag, and then it just looks like you have like your emergency bag with like makeup and stuff, and you can put the pads in there. Or like if you do have that box of pads in there, if you bring like a jacket or a sweater to school, you can kind of like wrap it around the box of pads, you know, like if it's in your backpack or your locker, and just like find plain bags that don't draw a lot of attention to them to hide this stuff. I mean, figure out what works for you in your situation, but definitely figure out good hiding techniques. There's a lot of different stuff you can do. My next tip is to open your pads before going to school if you are going to have to change your pad a lot. I mean, obviously, even if you do wear overnight pads to school, you might still have to change it. And so if you want to avoid that really embarrassing, I know I'm gonna go through this because I've heard online so much how embarrassing and how loud the pads are in the bathroom. And I mean, you shouldn't really be embarrassed of it, but like honestly, it's just so loud. So opening your pads before you go to school can actually really help minimize that noise, because then you don't have to like rip open the pad. I mean, you'll still have to like peel off the sticker, but like it'll be so much quieter. And obviously like keep the pads closed because like you want to be hygienic, but just open all the ones you're going to use that day before going to school, and then you should be good and you don't have to deal with that loud noise. My next tip is to come up with what you are going to say to a teacher or coach if you need to go to the bathroom. This is smart to do, especially before you go back to school, so like you're not caught in a bad situation. But so many times teachers just won't let kids go to the bathroom, or like you'll be in the middle of sports practice and your coach won't let you go, and so you need to come up with something to say, and it's going to depend on your personality and also the personality of your teacher and your coach. I can't give you like the perfect thing to say, but I can give you some like suggestions. So here we go. You could do this in private or like in front of people if you don't really care, or after class or something you could have a talk with your teacher, or after like practice you could have a talk with your coach, and just say something along the lines of like, hey, you know, I'm on my time of the month, or I'm having female problems. Most people won't really want to like go further into that once you say female problems, or like something like that. I'm having some female problems, I'm on my time of the month, I really need to go take care of it in the bathroom, could you please let me go? And that would be better for like a private conversation with like a teacher or coach. But if you do have to do it like in front of everyone, just say something like, I'm not really feeling well, can I please go to the bathroom? And if they push it further, then definitely have a talk with them after class or practice about how you have periods and you know, like you need to go to the bathroom when you need to go to change your pad, prevent leaking, stuff like that. Or you could even get your parent or guardian to write you a note that you can give to the teacher if your teacher is a little more like strict about that kind of stuff. If you do feel comfortable asking your mom or your dad or whoever you live with, whoever takes care of you, to write you a note just saying, hey, she's on her period, can you please let her go to the bathroom, like when she has to go to the bathroom because she needs to change her products or whatever. My next tip is for actually period pain, like dealing with period pain at school. It is to take care of your period pain before going to school. There are so many ways that you can do this so that you don't have to go through that period pain like while you're at school, because honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with all my period discomfort and stuff like that like when I go back to school. I don't know how people do that. But some tips I have are to like be proactive and use your heating pad before you go to school. Like while you're eating breakfast, use your heating pad, or while you're sitting there getting ready, like brushing your hair, doing your makeup, whatever, picking your outfit, put your heating pad on. Or start the day with like a warm shower and like let it run over all the areas where you're feeling period discomfort, or like drink a lot of water because that can help with your cramps. Being hydrated is always good on your period. I'll actually get to this in the next tip. Or something that you could do is take pain medication before going to school, but I am not a doctor and you need to talk to your parent or guardian or your doctor before taking pain medication, because medication is no joke, guys. So it's just like a suggestion from me to talk to your parent or guardian or doctor about taking pain medication to manage your period pain, but don't start taking pain meds by yourself. Obviously, you should be really responsible about that. My second to last tip is remember to drink water, because it is so important to stay hydrated when you are on your period, and it is so easy to forget to drink water when you are at school all day. So even setting reminders on your phone to drink water is really important, or like stocking your locker or your backpack with water bottles just so like you don't forget. Just constantly remind yourself, like when you're eating your lunch, or like when you're having a snack, or when you have like a moment in class class where you're kind of bored, drink water. It's really important since you're losing fluids in blood, especially on your period, to drink water. It can also help with, as I said, period pain, and also like you can get kind of dizzy and like feel tired on your period, so drinking water can really counteract that. And my last tip is, when all else fails, learn how to make an emergency pad. I'm going to insert a little demonstration right here on the screen of how to do this, because I used to watch all these like period DIY videos when I was like younger and I really wanted my first period, and it would be like,
if you need to make an emergency pad, use a washcloth or use cotton balls or use this weird wrap or something.
And it's like, if you are stuck in the school bathroom and you don't have your backpack with you, you don't have pads, you don't have anything with you, facing a period horror story in an emergency, and the only thing that you have next to you is toilet paper in the stall, then you're gonna need to know how to make an emergency pad with just toilet paper, and this is basically how you're going to do it. So you're basically going to take the crotch of your underwear. You can even slip your underwear off for this, or like put it lower on your legs so that it is easier to like reach the crotch of your underwear. And you're going to take around, I mean it depends, but just take as much toilet paper as seems necessary. You can wrap it around your hand if you want, just like a few times, so that you have like a long enough piece of toilet paper. And you're going to start at the very top of the crotch, even going a little past the crotch of your underwear, and you're going to take one of the ends of the piece of toilet paper, and you're going to, as you can see in this video, just do basically what I'm doing. You're going to basically wrap it and then take the rest of the toilet paper through that like hole and then wrap it again and again and again, and you're basically going to keep wrapping until you're done with that piece of toilet paper. And you can let the toilet paper kind of like wrap over that last wrap just so that you have more protection. This is really good to prevent leaking and for the toilet paper to last you long, because it'll make it like really thick, and it'll also be on the other side of the underwear so that you really can't leak through it. But you have to make sure that it's like a tight wrap so that it won't like fall out like down your pants or shorts or something like that. But once you've wrapped it, once you've reached the end, you're probably wondering like how it's gonna stay. So you're basically going to take the end, like that short little end that you now have, and there's gonna be like a little kind of hole between the crotch of your underwear and the toilet paper, and you're going to take that edge and kind of just slip it in, roll it, kind of tuck it, you know, just kind of feel around and see what helps keep it in place. If needed, you can always do this again, add extra layers near the front or the back or like wherever you think you will need it, and then just do the same thing and like tuck it in. You really need to make sure to tuck it in or it will fall out. And also of course make sure that it is tightly folded, because this is the best thing that will prevent leaking, because it goes all the way around the crotch. And sometimes you are just caught in a situation where you need to make an emergency pad like this, so I really hope that this demonstration helped you know how to make an emergency pad. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching it, and I really hope that this video helped you in just knowing like how you're gonna like have your period at school and like be more prepared for that, and also like just better at like dealing with your period at school. Definitely feel free to comment down below any situations that you will be in at school that you need help with that I didn't really cover in this video, or just any other questions that you have about dealing with your period at school, and I will reply with my advice. I try to respond to all of my comments, and we can all just like give each other advice in the comments. If you guys have any tips that I didn't say in this video for like having your period at school, definitely feel free to comment them down below. Just comment all your ways down below. I just want to try to all help each other out with the struggle of having periods in school as much as we can, and I'm wishing you guys all so much luck for having your period at school this coming school year. I'm definitely very nervous because this will be my first time having my period in person at school, so also wish me luck like if you want to. And so yeah, before you leave, please like this video, and if you made it to the end of this video, comment down below school periods are a nightmare, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I just make so much period content. So if you do need like more help with periods, I have a whole period playlist, a whole period vlogs playlist, like if you just want to see what having a period's like, relate to someone on their period. And I will also link down below some videos that I think you might like related to periods if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it, and I love you guys, and good luck with having your period at school. Bye!